Hi, my name is Dr. Michael Veslak. I'm a chiropractor in Camarillo, California, and we work at Camarillo Functional Health. I'm board certified in integrative medicine, and I'm a certified functional medicine practitioner. Today we're going to talk about is autoimmunity and the three pillars of autoimmunity. The first pillar that a patient must have to be autoimmune is they must have a genetic predisposition. We learned from the Human Genome Project that generally it's more than one gene that express themselves when a patient becomes autoimmune. We also learned from the Human Genome Project that most genetic issues are related to environmental issues or epigenetics rather than genes itself. And finally, not all genes that have a mutation will turn on. We have the ability to express genes on and or off depending on our lifestyle. We utilize a lab called 23andMe that does genetic testing. We take a look at the different mutations that a patient can have as well as the SNPs, and it helps us discover what the best route is through food or lifestyle changes to help this patient to recover and put their symptoms into a remissive state. So the second pillar that a patient must have if they're autoimmune is there must be some environmental trigger. This can be several different things. It could be heavy metal, chemical, bacterial, parasitic, molds, Lyme, sometimes food sensitivities such as gluten, dairy, soy, or nightshades can create the trigger. And so it's our objective in this office to, again, cause these symptoms to become less pronounced and try to reverse them altogether, is eliminate the trigger and thereby eliminating the symptoms of the autoimmunity. We do tests in our office to kind of determine what those triggers might be, because there could be a wide range of these various triggers. We'll do heavy metal testing through urine. We'll do stool testing so we can see if the issue is a fungal, parasitic, or bacterial problem. Sometimes we'll do a breath test for H. pylori or SIBO, which is a small intestine bacterial overgrowth. We run the basic CBC so we can look at the white blood cell count and the various components of it, as well as the complete metabolic panel. We like to run tests in our office so we can actually really get down to the cause of what the issue is for this particular patient. And the third and final pillar of autoimmunity is intestinal permeability. So again, you must have all three of these to become autoimmune: the genetic predisposition, some environmental trigger, and then intestinal permeability. So what the permeability does, it allows these foreign bodies to actually invade our body and expose our immune system so it's constantly under attack. Leaky gut, I'm sure you've heard that term, is when the tight junctions in the stomach mucosa becomes a little bit more permeable, and these proteins will circulate our bloodstream, and again our body will interpret these as a foreign invader. There's often a crosstalk between these cells of the mucosa, and this has to do with occludin and zonulin, and so we like to test for this to see if it's actually a problem, to see if there's a miscommunication, to see if the cell wall is permeable. So we like the Cyrex labs. Array 2 helps us test for leaky gut. Array number 3, we test for various gluten molecules. There's about 18 total that we test for, as well as to see if the patient is autoimmune to the skin, gut, or nervous system. And then finally we'll run Array 4, which tests for a cross-reactivity. We have some patients that are gluten sensitive and they restrict gluten from the diet and they're still having symptoms, and unfortunately there's about 18 potential foods that can cross-react with gluten. So we like to test for this so we can eliminate those foods right off the bat. So it's very important in autoimmunity that you fix the three pillars: genetic, environmental, and or leaky gut. For us, the most easy one to fix is the leaky gut. And you only have to fix one of these pillars for a reversal of those symptoms or a reduction of the symptoms. Now, the only time when we actually will go after the environmental trigger is with celiac disease. Then we'll actually remove the gluten and it makes it then easier for the patient to respond. So in our office, we do something called bioresonance testing. It allows us to go deeper in the body so we can actually look at the chemical or heavy metal toxicity. Sometimes the lab tests for heavy metal and or let's say Lyme's tests, it's just not so sensitive. I mean, the success rate might be 50%. So we've learned another tool that we have found to be quite effective in really identifying the toxin and then help us to eliminate that particular toxin within the patient's body. Thank you so much for listening.